Good evening and Happy New Year to you. Today is January the 1st, 2018, and I'm checking in, first of all, to say Happy New Year to you and to say thank you for all of the encouragement and the kind words and the support that you guys have completely given me over the past year. I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to drop in a few little, coaching concepts for you for today. Typically in the beginning of the year or leading into a brand new year, there's a lot of people who set New Year's resolutions. And myself personally, I'm not a big resolution person. I typically set goals, not according to the bureaucratic calendar, but in my birthday time, which is actually in June. So there might be a different thing for you to consider doing. But if you are a resolutioner, I know typically by the time, let's say, the second week of February comes along, I think the statistics are that 80% of people completely fall off the wagon with their New Year's resolution like 6 weeks into it. And resolutions are fine unless you are not accustomed to holding yourself to the fire and holding yourself accountable for what it is that you resolve to do. So what I'm going to challenge you to do as you're moving, as we have already moved into the brand new year, is to become very clear on your goals. And it sounds so basic and so fundamental, and you can't go real far on social media without somebody talking about the importance of you're having very clearly defined goals. But that's really where progress is going to be coming from. I know a lot of people grow kind of like stagnant and salty and bored with their life, and they just blah, like it's just like day in, day out, monotonous routine, or maybe you're like out of control, like Tasmanian devil, like all over the place. You have to remember that, and I think you know this about me by now, that when you have close connection with God, like you're receiving information from him, and you should always have your ears tuned up, and you ask for sensitivity and discernment to listen to where it is that he's leading you. But you still have to do work, and I believe that dreams and goals are God-given things to you, and they would never be given to you unless you weren't equipped or weren't going to be equipped with the skill sets in order to be able to achieve them. But that comes back to clearly defining what the goal is. You will never hit a target unless you know what the target is, right? That sounds like so basic, but it's completely true, and the same it is with your goals. So as we're stepping into the new year here, be very intentional about what it is that you are asking for, and this is not the time when you're setting your goals. If I can give you like a giant recommendation, it's not what's going to be the minimum level of goal that I should ever even set, either because I don't feel that I deserve it, I don't think that I can actually achieve it. This is not what that is. When you are not progressing towards your goals, it's usually because the goal doesn't set you on fire, right? If you think about this, if you are going on vacation, all right, and it's a place where you've always wanted to go, just think of like the anticipation leading up to that. Like the excitement builds, maybe you're planning an itinerary, you're going shopping for clothes, or however that, like you're in the moment because it's something that you love. But maybe when it comes to resolution times and you're looking at financial goals, or you're looking at health and fitness goals, and you're like, I want to lose weight, or I want to have more money, like it's not clearly defined, and the way that the goal is worded does not set you on fire. But if you phrase it to bring it to a point where it kind of like makes you uncomfortable, but at the same time it like supercharges you, it completely changes like your physiology inside. And what it does is it totally engages you, and you almost involuntarily take steps towards it, because that clearly defined goal, which completely sets your soul on fire. All right, maybe it's like financial freedom for you. I can't tell you how many people say to me all the time, God, I wish I were in a position where I didn't have to worry about money. Well, guess what? That's not going to get you anywhere. Nobody who has achieved what you're asking for is to actually have enough money in the bank so that you can go out and buy things and not have to think about, gosh, I'm going to have to pay $2 extra for guacamole when I go buy my burrito bowl. Like, you want to be in a different situation. But here's what I'm going to tell you, that the people who have achieved that level of financial prosperity, it's not because they were negligent or blind to financial operations. The reason why people have financial freedom, okay, which totally charges you up. I mean, could you imagine what that's like? Like, to literally not have to worry about, oh, you know what, that costs $10. This is not a big deal. Or this costs $300. This is not a big deal because your budget allows for that. You see what I'm saying? But with that level of goal setting and that amount of freedom that you're asking for, comes with it a very high degree of responsibility and discipline. And you will never be entrusted with that volume of money until you can be trusted with whatever, in this case, reference small amount of money you're entrusted to. And that is attention to daily ins and outs. That's controlling of your spending. That's making sure that you put your money before you, and you're not trying to spend and then catch up from the month and it's on the credit card and blah 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 blah. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you word it in I want financial freedom, in my case, I had to word it think about this. There was never a time during my nursing career where really money played into anything that I was doing. If you knew how much time I put in on my own, and this was when I was on a clinical track and I was studying on off hours, everything that I could learn about the cardiac system, everything that I could learn about diabetes, everything that I could learn about endocrine, I wasn't getting paid for that. All of the work that I put in EMS, all the time while I was at the gym doing contest prep on the treadmill, on the step mill, I was writing lectures, I was doing research, all the extra stuff that I did way off the clock. Do you see what I'm saying? It was never fueled by money. It was fueled by either the desire to be a flight nurse, be the best speaker, be the educator, whatever that was. But now for me, in a different context, my goal is to be financially free. That seriously, it kind of frightens me because I've never achieved that before, clearly, but now I have a fire underneath my ass. Do your goals get you to that point where you honestly can't sleep and you're willing to stay up at night? You're willing to put in extra time? Yes or no? If the answer is no, whatever the goal is, whether it's financial goal, whether this is health and fitness goal, whether this is a career goal, whether this is, maybe it's not even that. Maybe this is something like having the best marriage of your life that's filled with passion and vibrancy and connection rather than conflict and, cattiness and all that stuff. Right? Maybe that would be something in your life. You can have that, right? Maybe it's to make the best apple pie in the whole entire Northwest, because that's what sets your soul on fire. Your goals never have to be compared to anybody else's. They're in you. You are responsible for developing your gifts and your skills to the highest potential, but you have got to have very clearly defined goals. If you do not set goals, life is just going to kind of carry you. And if you're the head of a household, it's just going to kind of carry your household. If there's ever a time in all of history where two cool things are happening, number one is there's a lot of pushback from the world, and you may not think that that's very cool, but I think that within that obstacle, there's always a gigantic amount of opportunity. To me, that's very cool. The opportunity is that today, there was legit no reason for you not to know how to do something. right? How much information can we possibly have out there? I mean, you have to be sure that the source is credible, but I mean, honest to God, between that, between your cell phone, your smartphone, there's like literally no reason why you can't have what it is that you want. Literally none, other than the fact your refusal to move forward. So here we are, January 1st, 2018. This is the time to be very clear on your goals and ask yourself, am I off the charts excited about the quality of my life right now? Yes or no? Not, it's okay. No, are you on fire about your life? Do you have enough time with your family right now? Do you have enough time with your friends right now? Do you feel the healthiest that you could feel? Where is it that you want to be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 15 years from now? What do you want for your family 20, 30 years from now? It's 100% dependent on you. You are in the driver's seat. You are allowed to steer the vehicle of your life in any given direction, but it always comes back to the importance of having very clearly defined goals as step one, and then hammering in and drilling in and taking consistent daily action on those goals to keep on progressing until you achieve them.